Tanjiro watched as he knelt down to inspect the flowers. Outside the butterfly estate, a smile reaching his lips when a butterfly had landed on their nose. He continued to watch you from the window inside the recovery room until he felt a poke on his side. "Tanjiro!" Zenitsu called, snapping Tanjiro out of his trance. "Zenitsu! Why are you staring at Listener?" he asked so instantly. Tanjiro felt his cheeks burn up, along with his heart beating violently in his chest. "I just happened to see her after looking out the window," he replied, a hand scratching the back of his head. Zenitsu raised an eyebrow and looked outside. The butterflies had danced around you magically. It was almost as the butterflies were magically transformed your clothes into a glowing ball gown. Tanjiro watched again as well, admiring your graceful and beautiful form twirl around the butterflies. "She's beautiful," he mumbled. "Oh, ho ho, so you like her, don't you?" Zenitsu smirked while staring at Tanjiro. "I don't," he exclaimed defensively. "You know, it's not bad. She's training along with the other pillars to become one. You should train with her," Zenitsu teased, poking at Tanjiro's sides. Tanjiro moves back down to his bed, his face flustered in a deep red. "Come on, just admit you like her," Zenitsu added, plopping down his bed right next to Tanjiro, hugging his fluffed-up pillow. Tanjiro sighed, his eyes tracing the lines on the wooden floor. Okay, I do like her. I don't know how to talk to her, that is all," he replied shyly. "Oh, pish-posh. Talking to girls is easy," Zenitsu beamed. "Right." As Tanjiro pondered whether or not to talk to you or not, one of your friends came up to you and asked if you could give the boys their daily medicine, since she took out the laundry, and you agreed since you had nothing else planned for the day except for training later on. "Thank you so much, Listener." Your friend smiled as before walking out to get clean laundry. Sorry guys, my voice is tripping. You then glanced at the window and spotted Tanjiro leaning at the windowsill as he watched you with a smile. When he realized he'd been caught, he clumsily fell back with an embarrassed look on his face. You felt your head spin, feeling uneasy that the boy you had been so curious and infatuated with had been staring at you. You shook yourself out of your thoughts with a gulp before making your way to the recovery room. Oh my gosh, she caught me. Zenitsu, what do I do?" Tanjiro yelled, hands on top of his head, while ducking down underneath the window. "Just pretend it never happened." "How can I pretend it never happened?" I simply can't." Before he could finish his sentence, he slid the door open, holding a tray of 3 cups of medicine. Hey guys, so sorry for hearing a lot of background noise. My dad literally just came up here with his tablet watching football of all times of the day. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish with the video. "Hello," you stuttered out, sliding the door closed behind you. Hello," Tanjiro replied, removing his hands from his head and sitting straight up. Zenitsu awkwardly slipped himself underneath the covers as he watched you and Tanjiro looking at each other. "I'm here to give you your medicine, since the other person couldn't because she was out taking laundry," he said, walking over to them, handing their cups. "Thank you," Zenitsu said with Tanjiro in unison, while bowing their heads, causing a soft giggle to escape your lips. "No need for formalities when you're around me," you smiled, as he handed out their cups. You noticed Inosuke was still lying down on his bed, depressedly. You approached him and told him to take his medicine, but he remained there without an answer. "I'll put this right here for you. Please drink it," you said, gently placing the cup on a small dresser next to him. You then remember what happened earlier, decided to ask Tanjiro what that was about. "Tanjiro?" he choked, looking over to you as he turned to meet his gaze. "Yes? I saw you staring at me from the window earlier. What was that about?" You asked all so innocently. Tanjiro's face started to burn up as he tried to form his words for an answer. He walked over to his bed and sat down. I'm very sorry, listener. I didn't mean to stare. It's just... You hummed, staring intently at the adorable boy. You looked so beautiful, I couldn't help it. He blushed. Looking away from your eyes, you felt a flutter. You felt your heart flutter after hearing those words escape his lips. Thank you. Zenitsu couldn't believe his eyes and ears. So, quietly, tucked himself under the sheets, envious about how Tanjiro could get along with girls so easily. Tanjiro buried his face into his hands as Izu stood up shyly. Now, you begin. Would you like to train with me? Tanjiro lifted his head from his hands in surprise. Train with you? You nodded. Of course. I'll be waiting outside for you. You excitedly left the room while Tanjiro watched dumbfounded by your invitation. Later on, after finished taking his medicine, he met you outside for training. As you and him trained, he watched your skills carefully. He was surprised that you was a little more advanced than him. You was more advanced than him. You moved your sword gracefully and swiftly, keeping your focus. Eventually, your guys' training ended. Tanjiro, when you're fighting a demon, you must keep your hands like this, so it's much easier to reach the demon's neck. You can't keep your hands so low. That way, you'll only be able to hit the demon in the side and making yourself an easier target, you said. Of course. Sorry. No need to apologize. Everyone needs to improve somehow, he said. We can't just keep using the same fighting style. Eventually the demons will catch on and find a way to deflect us, so we keep on changing it up to make sure that never happens. Time skip. You and Tanjiro started to hang out more than usual. One day, you were sitting there admiring the flowers and Tanjiro sat next to you. Eventually, he started to speak as he sat next to you in silence. He had a crush on you for the longest, since the beginning when you started watching you from the window, and you felt the same way after you guys started hanging out. So, what are you looking at? Tanjiro said. Oh, I'm looking at these flowers. They're my favorite. Really? You pointed to a blue one. This means loyalty, bravery, and kindness, you said. You quickly got an idea. You plucked the flower. Tanjiro, can you turn around for me, please? He turned to face you. He quietly tucked the flower into his hair. Huh? Why did you do that? I think the flower matches you, he said, chuckling. Tanjiro turned to the pink one. Well, a purple one. What's this for? He said. Oh, the purple one means honesty, kindness, and beautiful, he said. Tanjiro got an idea too. He plucked the flower and put it into your hair. I think this one represents you pretty well, Tanjiro said, turning his head so he couldn't see his blush. Your face turned pinkish. And what does this one mean? He said, turning to a red one. Oh, that one means love and passion, he said. He plucked the flower and handed it to you. I think this represents my feelings well enough for you, he said. You quickly got on to what he was saying. Your face turned bright red as the flower. Listener, will you be my girlfriend? You said. He said. Sorry guys, I'm messing it up. You smiled. Of course I will. Giving him a kiss. But that only made his cheeks turn redder, and redder. He was redder than the flowers, but you didn't think that was possible. You chuckled. How about we eat lunch together? Tomorrow. Take it as a little date, since we can't really go out because of the whole demon situation, you said. Tanjiro nodded his head. That would sound lovely. That's not fair, Zenitsu called out. Zenitsu? How come you get all the girls? Zenitsu is not... Nezuko said. Tanjiro took a moment to what Nezuko just mumbled, and his face turned red again once more. If you guys didn't catch on, she was saying, listener and Tanjiro and the tree KSSING. Yeah, if you didn't catch on. Nezuko-chan! Zenitsu said, turning around as soon as he heard her mumble. Nezuko turned around with a surprised face and started running. Nezuko-chan! Come back here! Tanjiro sighed. I'll see you later, listener. I have to go save my sister from Zenitsu. You let a small chuckle escape your lips. Sure, I'll be waiting here for you, he said. Zenitsu, leave my sister alone, Tanjiro said as he chased after Zenitsu. You sat there and watched them, laughing at Tanjiro trying to save his sister from Zenitsu.